Hey guys, this is Izzy from PowerliftingToWin.com, and today we're going to be talking about powerlifting gear. What is legal and what isn't. So you can see all the different items that we're going to cover on the left-hand side of that table there. For those of you who want a more in-depth discussion with the exact specifications of each item, I highly recommend that you go to the link in the description box, because this video is going to be a bit more of a rapid-fire approach where I just give you the bare naked facts for each item. And don't worry, I'm going to include this table again at the end of the video if you'd like to pause it and take a closer look. But how we're going to start off with this is I'm going to show you a picture of me at a powerlifting meet. There it is. And we're going to go item by item as to what I'm wearing and what makes it legal. So, first things first, everyone must wear a singlet at a powerlifting meet. Any old singlet is fine. You can also get a custom one. But if you're an IPF competitor, you might want to err on the conservative side because they have a reputation for not allowing people to use eccentric stuff. Next thing, undershirt. You must have an undershirt for the squat and the bench. You don't have to on deadlift, but you do on the squat and the bench. And I'm not shitting you. If you're going to wear underwear, you have to wear whitey-tighties. No joke. Outside of the IPF, this isn't a rule, but in the IPF, you must wear whitey-tighties. If you forget, you might not be allowed to compete. Knee sleeves. Knee sleeves are okay as long as they're not longer than 30 centimeters in length. If you're an IPF competitor, you need to pick from one of the 4 IPF brands, Tommy Kono, Titan, Ray-Ban, or SBD. Belts are allowed so long as they're not more than 13 millimeters thick or 4 inches wide at any point in the belt. So those weird belts that taper to like 8 inches in the back are actually not allowed at power meets. So, shoes. Shoes are mandatory on all lifts. You must wear shoes for every single lift. I'm pulling up a picture of me deadlifting here because there's a few pieces of gear that we need to talk about in the context of a deadlift. So the first is deadlift slippers. And deadlift slippers are basically rubber socks, and those are allowed. They count as shoes. So one rule about shoes is that the centimeter or the heel cannot be more than 5 centimeters. So you can see those are my bench shoes. They get close, but they're not over. The other thing is long socks are mandatory on deadlifts. You must wear long socks for the deadlift. Here's a pair of long socks, IPF approved, although they're kind of gross. Next, we're going to talk about wrist wraps, and I'll point those out in just a second on your screen. For whatever reason, people always get wrist wraps confused with wrist straps. Wrist wraps are allowed, but wrist straps are not. And here's how you can tell the difference. The straps are on the left, the wraps are on the right. Wraps are allowed, straps are not. Wrist wraps are to hold your wrist straight, straps are for grip. So, knee wraps. Knee wraps vary from federation to federation, guys. If you have more questions about knee wraps, I highly recommend that you watch my knee wrap video because it goes into way more depth about the subject. Here's a video of Pete Rubish pulling 800 pounds, and right before that he's going to use some nose torque. You can see him there using it. Nose torque gives you a huge shot of adrenaline. It's basically just a strong dose of ammonia, and it is completely legal and allowed in all powerlifting federations. If you're an IPF competitor, the only caveat is that you cannot use it in front of the audience. And this is what standard ammonia caps and nose torque look like. Last thing is that chalk. Chalk is allowed at powerlifting meets, and it's actually highly recommended. You won't deadlift very much without it. So guys, I hope that was helpful. Here's that table again as promised. Again, for those of you who want more information, more detail about what makes an item legal and what doesn't, please check out the article in the description box. Also, if you'd like to see the rest of that Pete Rubish video, I'm going to include that there as well. I hope that was helpful, guys, and remember to check out PowerliftingToWin.com for all your powerlifting info.